Okay. Welcome. We are back. Welcome all leather workers that want to hang out with me, or just folks who care about leather work. We are going to be working on the next set of digital business card. We were using this pattern last time to make steampunk cards, and today I'm gonna make a stitched version of the same card. I'm probably gonna work only on one today. That will be enough. So let me put this guy away. It got a little dirty last time. I might need to let's clean it real quick. We basically smashed some glue on it. It was tough to remove at that point, but it's a little easier now that it dried up and evaporated. So, okay. Anyway, we're not going to be using this one. Let me put it away. And today you might also notice a little device on my table. And this is a spherical camera remote control. And I have my spherical camera, 360 camera, sitting right there. So I wonder if I switch it to a different mode. How do I do that? That what it is? I don't know. Is there a different mode? Nope. Nope. No. How do I switch to a different mode on this guy? Is it this button? Yeah, there we go. So, nope. HDR, photo, interval, burst photo, loop recording, bullet time, time shift, time lapse, HDR. Come on. Oh, there we go. So HDR is single lens. Single lens. Let's do a preview. What will you see with a single lens? Okay, that's a different lens. So if we swap around, yeah, that will be just my face. No, let's not do that mode. Let's do the 360 mode in HDR. HDR photo. Okay, no, HDR video. Yeah. So basically this allows me to see all 360 and it will record everything I do. So all I need to do is start recording. So at some point, this is actually a GPS. I don't know if you can see this little thing going, but this is actually a GPS, and I might run the GPS. Well, I will not use a GPS on it because it's I'm inside. In fact, I'm in the basement. So anyhow, I will turn it on at some point, maybe closer. I don't know. We'll see. From what I understand, it's quite a bit of battery and space, but who knows? Who cares, right? Who cares? We'll try it out. So first of all, let me grab the leather, and be using the same leather we used on the second card yesterday. So it will be similar card, but this time it will be stitched. So let's do that. Effectively cooler, right? Oh, wrong. Right, that's probably a way to go. Okay. So these digital business cards are NFC tags that get embedded in leather. So if you were here yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday, I think. Then you would know what I'm talking about. By the way, this is a pull-up leather, so it leaves this little crease here, which is an easy way to mark where you need to cut. Go. And I will grab one of the NFC tags that I bought a bunch of. Right? There we go. This will become a digital leather product. Only seen here on this stream, folks. This is a unique place where you can see digital leather products. Okay, let's turn on the 360 camera and let me do it with you all. So here is the click. There we go. You see it started counting the time, and you can rotate and see all the view everywhere, right? Or at least I hope it can do it. Okay, I'll sit that aside here. It's kind of funny how little this remote control is, but we are doing an experiment today. So if you are into experimental video and digital leather, you are in the right place. I don't know how many people that entails, but some people. Let's see. And I even forgot to turn off the lights and switch to my streaming lights, but that's okay. That's no problem. And we are simul streaming again between Twitch and YouTube. I am still not sure how much I want that, but again, my stream is small, my business is non-existent, so I cannot make a mistake here, you know what I mean? This is all negligible error, if any. If any of you here in the chat, if you can let me know if you use, if you watch YouTube live streams or not, that would be a good signal for me to see if I want to do that seriously or not. And obviously, if you are on YouTube, let me know if you ever watch Twitch streaming, which is the other platform I'm broadcasting to right now. And I'm thinking of also broadcasting to Instagram. However, that requires more setup than I was able to do in time. So maybe we'll figure it out later. From what I understand, at least, Streamlabs OBS desktop, Streamlabs desktop, can capture two layouts at the same time. And that allows you to do regular sized video and Instagram, and basically like 16:9 and 19:6 at the same time, and have different layouts for those formats, obviously. One day we'll figure it out. This day is not today. I'm always surprised that I'm cleaning the brush while the glue dries, because I need to glue it again. But at the same time, I remember that if you don't clean the brush, the glue will dry on the brush as well. And that's not, I mean, it's actually not a big deal because this is a silicone brush for that very purpose, but still pain in the butt. And I'll put my acrylic pattern aside. It already got some glue on it, but just put it aside so it doesn't bother me in the right place. Okay, and I will also go and we'll look at our other workstation. I will go. It's a little hectic setup. I'll turn this on. I'll actually turn the power on. My light somewhere around here. There we go. But we'll go to white. And I'm doing this because we will be using doing the foiling on the card. And I thought I would do a different foil this time. And we will use this brown foil for this brown leather, right? I think it will match very well. Unlike the other one that has the steampunk version that has the rivets in it, will not need to match like the gold color with gold color. Okay, it's still a little tacky, so we'll wait a tiny bit. If you have a question about what the product we are making is, let me know. I'll be happy to answer that. And if there are any YouTube streaming experts here, also let me know. Or maybe multicasting streamers for what do you call it? Streamlabs OBS, because it does seem to me that my traffic is split between two properties that I assume streaming to simultaneously, rather than Streamlabs streaming my content on. So my bandwidth is limited in both sides, or at least that's my understanding. At the same time, all the recordings are actually quite good, so I don't know what's up with that. And it's also complaining about keyframes sent every 8.3 seconds. I have no idea what that means. Anyway, hopefully you all are enjoying the stream, and if not, please put it in your stream, in your comments. Okay, we are back to this, and I think we can start glue this one on right in the middle, right here, leaving us plenty of space around for the stitch. And we'll add some glue to the other side of the card. I would do it right away, but unfortunately holding a card with both sides having glue on it is impossible, so I did not figure out that part out. So if you have a thought, let me know. Maybe I'll make a contraption of some kind that just holds it with a couple needles in a vertical position. No. This way it will speed up the process a tiny bit. And this brush is obviously all crusty with all the glue that accumulated over some period of time. But that's kind of our life of leatherworkers. If only you saw the shoemakers' brushes sticking out of their glue cans. I need, like, basically, I don't know if you've been here for a while, you would know that this stream is also known for, did Sergey find the tool that he was looking for? Because this pile that you mostly do not see here is problematic in its life. So often, more often than not, I am looking for tools here. If 360 for a video will turn out to be cool, I'll probably you'll probably be able to see the how do I put it, the less beautiful portion of it. And I'm curious if it will actually make the wall be the default. I think it will be. Maybe next time I'll rotate the camera so it mostly points at me first. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. This is an experiment. 7 minutes and counting. Battery is up. We still have some power, so fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, this one is ready. This one is ready. Okay, let's glue it together. Just like that. And I'll use my metal roller to make sure the parts adhere together pretty well. And I will do this, and then I will use my bone folder, reserve the shape as well. So kind of, you will see what I'm talking about in a second. Here we go. Just like that. You know what? Maybe I didn't need to. I didn't need to turn on the foiler, because with this pattern we want to foil after we stitch, right? Or not? No, you know what? We can foil before we stitch. This is not a problem. And I remember with this specific leather, you didn't want to apply a lot of pressure, just a little touch, because this leather is much softer than the other leather we used. Because it's an oil tan with pull-up. I don't know. If you don't know the term pull-up or oil tan, ask away. I'll be happy to explain. Okay. No, we cannot foil before we stitch, because we need to be using this guy to cut it out, and only then we can foil. So I'll go turn off our foiler so it doesn't go heating. Almost fell. And we'll put the jig aside for a second, but just remember that this is the jig we will be using. And now we'll use the stitching chisels. So here are my stitching chisels. If you haven't seen them before, they create little holes in the leather for stitching. And they have a, this particular set has 385 millimeter distance, and I think it is 7 stitches per inch SPI. Not particularly fine, but I think it works pretty well. At least most of my work I do with this chisel. I actually don't have any finer chisels. So let's start with this corner. And then go on from there. And I'm aligning them right next to the card. You know, here they go through. And this way the stitch will be right around the card. A little late here on the East Coast, but I hope people who need to sleep are not around. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the sound of the mallet. Hopefully not. Yeah, my monitor tells me that the noise doesn't get through, but I hope that's okay. Nice. I mean, these stitching holes don't always align perfectly. In terms of length of the stitch, like over here, you know, a couple stitches around will not be exactly matching the distance, but it's close enough. So the holes are made. Chisels can be put away. And so is the mat. This is the mat to make sure that the chisels, as they go through the leather, don't get damaged. And now we will probably switch the camera to this view, even though it's not. Let's keep it at this view. And we'll just stitch around. I'm taking out my stitching pony, which I hope you can see over here, so it's not completely lost on camera. And hopefully you can see it in this camera as well, right? Yep. Okay, nice. And you put your project here. Okay, and well, not okay. Because I usually start on the right side, I want the holes, openings to be on the right side, so it's easier to put the needle in. Okay, and now I'll probably use this thread. No, it's too late. Let's pick the thread, and I'll do it. Well, I'll do it right there so you can all see. So this one is a little light. I'll still keep it as an option. This brown. Oh, this brown is another option. It actually matches relatively well, so let's keep that. Not my favorite thread, but it's okay. What else do I have? Oh, I have a lot of stuff. I have this good thread, which is slightly lighter here as well, but that might be an option too. And I have this thread, which is darker than the previous one. It probably fits it better. It is, however, 0.8 millimeters, so it's a little thicker than what I want. This project. Too many threads, folks, too many threads. And this is 1 millimeter. This is even thicker version. Okay. I probably bought it for some shoes or something. And the rest is basically ran out. I probably ran out of this, right? Yeah, this is a mid-brown 0.6. So, yeah, probably not this. Obviously not the thing I ran out of. Not black, not this, not this. Let's review our final choices. Oh yeah, and not blue. So our choices are right here. This is a 0.8 millimeter dark brown. lighter brown at 0.6, and this twist thread, which is a whole other story altogether. Well, for starters, I need to be able to open it. Oh, there we go. This is actually better. You know what? I'll use this twist thread rather than my favorite tiger thread. So we'll work with that today. Not my favorite in terms of how easy it is to use, but it's good enough. So let's grab two very thin needles. Thinnest needles I got. Right? This one is. And I guess this one is as well. Right? Yep. Both somewhat blunt, but not particularly. And we'll thread them. Oh, I forgot to measure the size of the thread that I need, so I measure one side, the other side, then double it to know our length, and we need to quadruple this size, so it will be double that and double total. Maybe I don't need all four, but this is good enough. There we go. Now we thread the needle, and if you cannot see it, it's okay, because I can barely see it myself, so do not expect to see much in here as I'm threading the needle. It is already a challenge even for me. Maybe I should get a bigger... Yeah, you know what? I'll get bigger needles. As much as I like this exercise, I don't like this exercise. So, maybe these two will do. Go. And oh, come on. That's why I don't like this thread. It's not waxed. Well, actually, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we grab a piece of wax. Maybe that's what the problem is. Let's grab a piece of wax and wax this thread. Do I have a yellow wax? Yeah, I have a yellow wax. This. Okay. Let's see if that helped or not. And if that doesn't work out in a couple tries, I will put on my magnifying glasses. Maybe I should do it before I try. Well, I can definitely see much better now. There we go. There we go. Here we go. And I forgot the trick that I was using. It's like making it flat. Nope. Then I'm trying to use a even better trick of putting the needle through two layers of thread, like this, right? and then doing this. Maybe it's easier, maybe it's better, I don't know. Hopefully it will stop it from unraveling altogether. Maybe. We can always hope. And you tell me if I look ridiculous with these glasses on. Because I know I do. The double layered glasses now. That's what age does to you, folks. Again. One hole, the other hole. You know, it might not be that bad with two holes in the thread, but it's literally the first time I do that. Okay. Now we have our needle, our thread with needles on both sides, and we start stitching. Basically like this. And what did I do? I made a mistake already. First you pull it through and then you do the knots, because otherwise you have the thread all around. So like this. Again, making sure the amount of thread is equal distance, more or less. And you see how with this pony, the stitching is much more streamlined, because I can tighten the stitch on both sides at the same time. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Going fast. And obviously the holes that you make a difference and all of that. This feels like a pretty thin thread for this though. Is that good? Yeah, I think it's good. I could use finer chisels if I had them, but I don't, so we'll have to do with these. And it's weird, I kind of don't usually use unwaxed thread, but so it's not as silky usually as this one is. And it took me a while to get to this routine. For 2.5 years, I didn't realize this will be beneficial. I actually bought a different pony before, and I learned the stage, but it just didn't feel right. Like it felt like too much overhead or not enough reason for those optimizations that I'm doing right now. And it turns out those optimizations actually matter. And what I mean by that is, first of all, I'm putting the needle back in right away. And second of all, I do the casting, so both sides of the thread, or the stitch, sorry, look equally good and a little more pronounced, have a little more pronounced angle to them, which is just the fact that I'm talking about it like that already tells you that it requires a little bit of practice and understanding the reason behind it before you actually feel that you should do it. And I learned all of it way before, right? Like, I watched all of the videos, but it just didn't feel like needed, or it just didn't feel worth it, as my son likes to say, to do this kind of exercise most of the time. And therefore using the pony wasn't important enough. And for this project and quite a few flat projects that I do, the pony became eventually a best option, because I can basically double the speed of stitching as a result, or more or less double, or at least reduce the overhead. And because I have control with two hands, I'm much more confident in the movement as well. And because I do this T trick where I use my needle to pick the other needle out, at the same time I push this thread back, and maybe you cannot see that, but I'm sorry. Maybe, no, I don't want to touch the main camera, sorry folks. Maybe if I rotate, sorry, not this, but I rotate the whole thing a little forward, just to show you. Oh, come on. I tightened it pretty well last time. No, I don't want to do it. It's just too hard, sorry. But this is basically the process. If anyone is interested, let me know, and I'll maybe set up the camera for a macro shot specifically over the over my stitching pony. Okay, half of it is stitched. You see, like, I'm not bragging. I'm just liking my own progress, if you know what I mean. It's pretty amazing, and because of these optimizations, I like stitching even more than I do, even though I generally like stitching, unlike many of the leatherworkers here on streams. You know, I do like stitching, and with the speed at which I'm going right now, it's pretty reasonable, because the biggest problem with stitching is how much time it takes. And I don't think you can hear the thread as I pull it. It creates this sound like that, like a little musical instrument. Yeah, unfortunately you cannot hear it with my way over optimized mic, but it's kind of musical sound, music to my ears, if you know what I mean. I like this quiet process of stitching a thing. And we'll do some foiling later once I finish stitching. maybe when I'm gonna swap or move the project in the pony, I'll also go turn on the foiler back. Yeah, this is kind of time to move it. Turn the foiler on and get myself, if not me, then who, right? So I need to redeem a little bit of, where is it? Hydrate. Redeeming the hydration. If I don't ask for it, will my viewers ask? I don't know. You folks just like watching. Which is fine. Lurkers are very welcome here. It's no problem whatsoever. Again, as I said, once we're done stitching, we'll do the we'll cut it out, which is what the jig is all about. And then we'll do, well, we have two parts of the jig, and one of them is for cutting and another one is for foiling. So it's dual jigging today. It sounds very dirty. I don't know. Unfortunately, this is not a vegetable tanned leather, and as a result, the edges will not be as great as I love them to be. But because they are pretty smooth here, unlike the last project, I hope to get somewhere to a good burnish after we foil. And that will be enjoyable. And because you need to foil only after you stitch, you kind of want to have your setup verified and tested. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to stitch it and then realize your foiler is like making mistakes. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, and we go back into the hole that we've been already. And let's rotate it last time. I'll probably do 2 back stitches here because this is a thinner thread. One. And two. Okay, cool. Done with stitching. You see? This is the stitches. Again, like, unfortunately on camera it's a little harder to see, but maybe you see the beauty of it. At least I really enjoy it. So the other thing about this thread, I think that it's not nylon. And as a result, it might not burn as well as I hope. So let's try, and we'll see if the other side will be equally problematic. No, it burns pretty well. Yep. Burned pretty well. And by burned, I mean not burning itself, but the melting of the thread. The thread melts and creates a little bubble of nylon, which when you press down, it kind of smooshes and heals the hole in which it's set. We did cut out a little too much thread, but that's okay. That's usual non-regret, because it's better to have more thread than less thread. Okay, so the next step is I clean my desk to see if it's dirty. It's a little dirty from all of the leather work done on it. So maybe it's time to flip this. And I will switch back to the zoom because I want this to be more precise process. Grab my rotary cutter again. And the idea behind this jig is that it has this line etched next to the edge, and you align it with a stitch as close as you can, basically having the same distance all around, right? And then you cut on the edge, and that's the goal here. That's the goal here. So here we go. Let's try. That's one side done. You carefully rotate it, not to shift. Not to shift it. Maybe a tiny bit in one direction to even it out. That. Sorry if my head is in the way, but I kind of need a little bit of view here. So we cut out the edges, right? These go into trash. And now we use this knife to basically cut out the round corners. So this is how much work goes into each of these cards, and hopefully that gives you a good perspective at why they're a little pricey for an NFC tag, but it creates a cool item, and not just cool, but also very stylish and practical tool. So now you see how this card now goes into this jig, and if we flip it, this will be the window where we want to do the foiling. So I actually want to take it out because we need to put the foil in, but for that we will go, nope, not into the zoom mode, but to the foiler window. I need to grab the scissors. And we'll grab a piece of foil. Maybe here. No? There is a little bit of scratch here, so let's cut all of that out. I want to keep straight piece so we don't have a misprint. This goes over here, over this hole. This guy, we decide which side, it doesn't really matter. Goes like that. You see? And then we flip it. This is where the window will be. So this is where the logo will be stamped, or at least more or less in that area. And now I'll grab a heat protective glove and position my stamp right there, so I can quickly slide it over, put under the press, do a little bit of a touch, and remove it. And I'll show you on a zoom on the other side what it came to be. Here's the zoom. I don't know if you can see that. That's how the foil is sitting there now. Right, that with some impression on it, right? And after we take it out and take out the foil, the impression is now imprinted in the leather. There we go. Yeah. So this is pretty exciting. I mean, Foiler was actually the first machine that I bought before any other machines, before the press, before the basically other machines. I don't have that many machines, to be frank, but these are my favorite. Foiler is one of my favorite, even though it's a cheaper version, but I'm really excited about the result every time. So the next step is to edge, to clean the edge and to burnish it. So let's do it. And unfortunately, as I said, this is oil tan. Because of that, it's a little harder to work with. It's basically softer. Less of the plywood and more of the fabric. I like comparing leatherwork to a mix of woodworking with plywood and fabric. You know, and again, this is not a big deal, but there is a little bit of that smooshiness that's going on. Maybe because my edger is not perfect, not very sharp, you know. But primarily because it's an oil tan leather and not the vegetable tan leather. Basically, oil tan is faster to make. You can create some interesting effects with it, but generally speaking, it's less cool. It's cheaper, obviously. So let's do a little bit of sanding. Around the corners. Okay. And because I'm using this jig, there is another benefit, because I'm using the jig to cut out the stitched and glued leather. It means the edges are much more straight. I don't need almost any sanding for it. So that's the beauty of this jig. Like, I learned a few tricks over the years from folks and just internet, and creating jigs and patterns that allow for cutting allowance is one of them. basically create an order of operations and a jig where this is appropriate. And obviously this project is very trivial. This applies to other projects that I might want to do. So, burnish. And this particular leather fits exactly into my smallest groove on the burnisher. And I'm using the canvas to add the most shine. Again, this is not veg tan, so it will never be as great as veg tan because it's just soft, right? But you can get pretty far with this. Maybe I overdid a little bit of toconol, but that's okay. And because it's not edge tan, doing a lot of burnishing doesn't really help because it's just not the same kind of leather, so you don't need to spend as much time on it because it's not going to be better. Still going to be okay because you don't need the paint on it, and still can get a pretty good effect without the paint. So kind of gets the best of both worlds. And I'm staying late today because I need to go pick up my son from the airport, and he is flying in at midnight. Pretty late, pretty late. So I'm staying late so I can drive there. Luckily, there's less traffic this way. Go all around and do a little bit of that burnish. And this leather obviously will also, as it leaves in your pocket, hopefully that's where you keep your magic business card, it will also get a little bit of natural burnish from all the rubbing you do with your hand and in the pocket and all of that. Hopefully this is a stylish product for you to use. And right now it's not very shiny, but we will go and do some finish on it. Oh my god, I love this. Like, I'm always like underwhelmed as I'm doing it, but then when it comes together, it becomes just great. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit on that process so you can see it in action, but unfortunately without touching the leather and resulting edge, it's very hard to comprehend the beauty of it. Karen Chu, welcome. I don't know what happened to my sounds, but somehow I didn't hear you come in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Ciao, Raid. Welcome. What were you working on, Karen? What were you doing, and what do you do on Twitch? Let me do the shout out, right? So shout out, Carriage Chow Design. There we go. Folks, check out Karen's. I assume Karen, you are a lady, but maybe it's Karen. No, Karen. I see the image. Let me follow you real quick. What were you working on? New markers. So you're doing some art? That's nice. That's nice. We are working on the digital business card. You see, this is like an NFC tag that is bound in leather, so it can be your business card. And when people touch it with the phone, it will open up your website. It has a little bit of that foil that they just foiled onto it. This is my logo. I'm churning. 3D design, sculpted and 3D printed. Oh my god. I hope you 3D printed it before that, right? Because usually 3D printers take a while. However, the new printers are much better. Nice. Folks, check out Karen's website, although most of you did come with Karen, so thank you for joining. The next step for our process... Oh yeah, I love the foiler. This is just my favorite tool. I was just talking about it. The next and final step of the process is actually applying some wax. And it always... You see how it's supposed to be liquid, but it just doesn't liquid because the wax is on the surface. So let's try applying it. You 3D printed them yesterday. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, there are some new amazing 3D printers there now that are so much faster, but it's usually still a process. So are you a designer? Well, I guess you are a traditional artist and digital artist at the same time if you do 3D sculpting too. If you have any links, please share them in the channel. That would be pretty cool to see. So you apply this with a wet rug, let it dry up a little bit, and you will see how this becomes a little dull because the wax is in the liquid. Come on, where's my... There we go. Here's the cover. Multi-passionate creative. Perfect. I am myself is a leather worker here on stream, but I'm actually a software engineer by day, so you can tell I am also pretty multi-passionate. Not necessarily multi-talented, but multi-passionate, that's for sure. So, and then you see how it like became dull, and now we use this rug to buff it up, and I'll do half of it only just to show you the difference. Every time I do it, this is the difference. Yeah, it's kind of like hard to show, but you can definitely see there is a difference, but it's hard to like express how awesome the leather becomes. You used to be a software engineer. Nice. Did you retire from that lucrative job, or what happened? Because I just got laid off. Well, not just. I got laid off in December, so I'm not used to be, but I haven't been doing software for almost 7 months now. So here is the this face, and this is what the face that is not waxed, and we didn't even apply the wax yet, so you can see the difference here. Oh, you became a Scrum Master. Nice, nice. I am actually interviewing with a company right now that you probably know, but I cannot name them until I get an offer. And I am gonna be a little too much. I am gonna be a manager on the team, and I've been a manager before. I'm not only like write software, but I am kind of a technical manager, if you know what I mean. I am passionate about technology, and I'm an architect and all of that, so I am very familiar with Scrum. In fact, I am a certified Scrum Master myself. And thank you for the follow, Karen. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, but here we are not on a day job. Here we are on a craft life, right? So let me buff this side up, and I'll show off a few things that we do here on stream, so you can all see a little bit of variety. Yep. I am a Scrum Master from about, what, 2005-ish? 2006-ish, when the manifesto was just written and one of the first Scrum Masters happened to be. I don't necessarily do it every day. That's not my primary role, but obviously managing the process is part of the manager's job. Okay, so let's do a little bit of that canvas burnishing again on the edge, because some of the to wipe off some of the wax, or to rub it in rather, and this card will be considered done. Okay, and by the way, there is this thing going on here to the left, which is a little preview of my camera. And this is not just any camera, not this camera that you're looking at. This is a 360 camera, so you can actually see the whole 360. So it's the first time I'm recording 360 view with my at my desk here. I actually use this usually for Google Street View photography, as a Google local guide, it's called. Linktree, let me check it out. Let me take a look. Thank you. Please don't run away yet. I know it's a tough after the stream, but I want to check it out. YouTube Shorts. Do you have Instagram by any chance? Karen? Yes, I see Instagram. I see Instagram. Let's follow you on Instagram as well. And obviously 3D printing is close to my heart as well. I mean, I have one of the earliest good 3D printers. Well, frankly, earliest 3D printers, FDM printers, MakerBot. I know, it dates me quite a bit. And I'll go and follow on YouTube as well. Okay, and we are back. Sorry, I'm not showing it on the screen, folks, but I just don't have that set up. It's actually two separate computers. I haven't 3D printed much lately. My son 3D printed a few things for my wife, but that wasn't really a big project, although he learned that you need to print 6 times before your model works very well, you know. Do you sell the 3D models? Is that part of your income stream? Because I sell patterns. So again, this is the digital business card. You can find it in my Etsy shop. But I wanted to show a few things. the wall, I want to show off the sneakers that I made recently out of leather with brass hardware and crinkled leather. This is like, if you see those crinkles, that's on purpose. So this is one of the like more ambitious projects, even though it's actually not that hard because it's a kit, so I'm not like doing full-on leather work on this, but I mean, I'm doing all the leather work, but it's not like full-on sole making and all of that, but it's pretty cool. So this is one. Yeah, I have a partnership set up and things and printables. Nice. Individual models. Nice. I didn't know about those services. Then it is the Tetris wallet, or so-called Tetramino wallet, Tetramini wallet. So I have this like darker themed ones, and I have a lighter themed ones. They're like slightly lighter. This is on purpose, so it's not just dark. So as you can see, it looks like a familiar game in the pocket of your wallet, and you can put your cards here. So this is one other project of mine. Yeah, I love it. I just cannot stop showing it off. Basically, this is the stream of me showing off. That's how we roll. And okay, looks like I sold most of them, but so a few other things. This is the wallet. If we have, thank you for the follow, Polymorph. I appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yes, exactly. If it wasn't my channel, like why wouldn't I do it? Why wouldn't I show off stuff, right? Where else would I show off stuff, right? So this is another one. This is a wallet, right? And if we have any Harry Potter fans here in the audience, you will recognize the Marauders map in the lining. So it's a wallet, card wallet with some cash compartment, and it's a Marauders map. It's the first one where I did, and frankly, the only one so far where I did a French binding, where I put the leather over the edge, and it's a pretty cool wallet, very Harry Potter style, you know. So that's one. Here is another one that is actually designed by my wife, inspired by, I forgot the guy's name, but he makes this in heart jewelry, right? And this is the leather bracelet with painted and gold paint as well. Not gold, but gold color, right? So this is my wife's inspiration from another designer. And the map design is actually lining. It's a lining that is sold by official channels. They sell, how do you call it? The fabric, right? And this is one of my, oh, I found the rest of them. These are the patterns that I sell, actually. I made a few. This is the D12 dice bag. So if you zoom in, this is a bag. Like, it's very hard to see inside, but it's like, because it's dark there. Like, but it's a dice bag in the shape of dice. Basically, this is D12 shaped, right? With some painted on ornaments. Very funny, interesting looking. The map is just a fabric, just regular fabric. So this one is D12. This one was my second one, and that is a riveted D6, right? So it's basically regular cube-like bag, but I thought, like, what will make a cube bag look cool? and I thought the pips, like on the dice, will look cool. So these pips I actually used to both as ornaments, but also to assemble the bag as well. And I actually got, I don't know if you can see behind me, yeah, you can't, but there is that press for riveting, like this big guy in front. And that's the one that I got because like there are 20 rivets in it. You kind of want to go fast with it. So this is another one, and I sell patterns for all of my dice bags. And this is the new pattern that is just coming out, which is a D20. So this one is also magnetic snap, and this is the most fun experience. You just do this and it just closes, basically, right? And this is also a dice bag with 20 sides. We also have some images that you can transfer, and I use my, where is it? Where's my tool? Like our favorite game. Where is Sergey's tool? There you go. I use a tattoo machine by Leather Tattoo Machine Company to like emboss these ornaments, because these are not just painted, they're actually embossed, you know. And yeah, this one puts in as well, and like this one is actually colored already, but the original, I did have a few veg stems ones that puts in it very well. And this is another version of the same dice bag, but with a different ornament. My son, you can probably see it here, right? There's an ornament and a little bit of gold paint to paint. This is a family business. My son drew the art, and my wife painted with the gold, the little stars and stuff with gold. So if you want to make them, let me switch back, yeah, you can check out my Etsy store. Let's see if I have my chat command. Let's take a look. Store. No? Etsy. No? Shop. Nope. None of those works. Okay. I forgot my own commands. But it basically journeygoods.com. If you go there, you can find a store where you can buy the patterns and make one yourself. It's only a few bucks, so it's a easy pattern. This one is a little more work because you need to stitch all of these edges. This one is still a little bit of stitching, but less work. And this one, if you have a riveter and can operate it well, this one is the easiest to make, and obviously the simplest shape of them, but still pretty cool. I buy leather everywhere. I do get a little bit of leather at Tansy, but it's not very close to us. It's a like 40-minute drive, so not too bad. But I also buy online. Rocky Mountain Leather Supply, you know, is a good place where I buy leather. And they also Skype for free, and they have a lot of exotic leather. So some of these projects require, like basically the dice bags, the D20s, little D20s, they require 1 square foot of leather, 9 by 16 inches. And you can buy those panels at Rocky Mountain, and that's pretty cool. Let me show you a couple more things. Yeah, so as this one was a NFC tag, by the way, let's program the tag. I'll show you how to program it. So zoom in, right? This is the tag. Right now, if you put your phone next to it, nothing will come up, right? But if we go and set up NFC tools app, and we'll say, hey, write please, and load one of my existing URLs. This is literally for my shop, right? You can say it write 12 bytes. You see it's asking, put it next to the tag. Now it is written onto the tag. And obviously when you buy one, you can also do that yourself and change your URL later. And now when you meet somebody who's like, hey, bring your phone next to my card, and it shows up a URL and they can open it up. So it can point at your YouTube channel, at your Instagram, at your Linktree, at your shop directly, whatever you like. So I actually use it for my own business card. I use it for my Cardonist account, which is the app I built myself, and that lets you ask people to enter their info, and it sends them my info. So it's similar to those dot cards and people who charge a lot for plastic card, but for the price of just leather. You know. Oh, here's my Etsy shop. Here's my chatbot waking up finally. So here are a few other things I make. Like I use my Cricut machine to mark this leather. As you can see, this is slightly debossed. This one is on one side though. I did make a few double-sided ones. And speaking of NFC tags, these keychains, yeah, these keychains actually have NFC tags in them as well. Let's try them out. Let's make sure I'm not lying to you. Come on, there we go. Come on. There we go. Another NFC tag. So this is another very cool project. Hi bot, yeah, hello bot. I actually paid for Streamlabs. I might need to rename my bot to be like a Journey Igor or something like that. So anyway, digital leather products is one of my fun pieces that I do. Yes, they are rewritable, so you can update them. Obviously, I wouldn't sell you my business card, right? But you can lock them once you rewrite, right? Like there is a mode in which you say, hey, write it and don't let it be rewritable anymore. So you have options. The app is free. There are some limitations on the app for free. I paid like a few bucks to unlock like the library and stuff like that, so you don't need to remember your URL over and over, but otherwise it's free. And these things work on Android and iPhone with NFC. Android allows you to disable NFC, so some users do that, but the iPhone does not allow you to. So it's pretty, and it is just a URL, and obviously you can write anything on it. Like for example, Amiibos, Amiibo, no, Ami something something. The things that you can play with Twitch, not Twitch, Switch, Nintendo Switch. Amiibo, that's right, they're called Amiibos. Unfortunately, for these tags to have Amiibos, you have to lock them. They have to be encrypted, so you cannot override those tags, unfortunately. So once you put it on the card, you cannot override it. But for the business card, you can override them as much as you want. That's right, Nintendo Switch figures. I actually thought of making some leatherwork figurines to be Amiibos, right? Maybe it's fun to do. I don't know. If anyone thinks it's a cool idea, we can do it. But I never write Amiibos, so I don't know how to do that. And maybe I just need to figure it out. I don't know. Anyhow, we are about done for tonight, actually, because I need to go pick up my son from the airport relatively soon. I will drink a little water. I mean, I do also have, like on the other desk, I also have some foiler that we used for foiling this card, right? But also some sublimation printing presses, like that big press, and the one next to it is with the mugs. So we do make some mugs sometimes, especially when we do fundraisers. We make mugs to raise funds for something, and other like tiles and little how do you call it, posters, right? By the way, this one is made by hand. This is in Russian, and this is the same thing in English. That's my high school club, you know. So we do that. Before we leave, I want to show you some other thing. If you notice down there below where you can redeem some of my points, which are called Churny Gems, there is one of the redemption targets is show a deck of cards, so you can always do that. However, and when you do, you can obviously do that. And I also have a fun one for stamping. So the project I'm working on, I will put a stamp, one of these like full like flower stamps, for example. I'll put them on the project if you redeem quite a bit of points for it. We had some fights for whose stamp will go where. But I do collect playing cards, and this is something that I redeemed, so anyone can redeem for collecting. And in addition to just showing a deck of cards, if you do subscribe, which, you know, is always exciting, your name gets on a subscriber deck. So this is a subs deck, and we have quite a few people who subscribed and got their name on the card. So we do have a few cards left. It's not many. And when I'm done with the full deck, I'll probably print a custom deck with all of the people's names on it. It will be a project for sure, but that's gonna be. And we play so-called subscriber poker, where I let you pick the card and you get yourself on the card, you know? So DJ got a Joker. She was lucky. And like a lot of people here are fun old school co-streamers, I should say. So if you ever want to, you're very welcome to play this game by subscribing. We almost are at the deck level. Again, this is not a huge financial thing for me, but it's very big motivation. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you a little deck box, and I don't know if you can see, but it has some embossings, also done by Cricut machine. Yeah, I do have a Cricut machine too. A lot of toys. You're right, Karen. And this one is a fun one with like a diamond here and diamond here. You know, so I was thinking of making all of those into Kickstarter projects and all, but I don't have energy or time. And now I will hopefully soon get a new job. Well, fingers crossed, folks. I don't want to curse it. But, so I'll have less time again. But it's kind of funny how when you don't work and need to find a job, your mood is a little low and you cannot stream as much, you know. But so I didn't use that opportunity for streaming or kickstarting or whatever. I just love these cards. If you hold on for a second, I'll be right back to grab the other two cards that we made yesterday and we'll show you all. And this is obviously Leather Workers be right back sign, so I'll be right back. Thank you. It was one of the big projects that I did, whatever, 3 years ago when I started. 4 years ago already. 3.5. Actually, it's about 3 years exactly. What I'm saying, yes. It's about 3 years exactly. So, and I convinced a lot of leather workers to do their own as well. It was fun. So here are the two other cards using a separate jig. So you see how many of you joined later. So I use this jig. So this one is a acrylic piece, laser cut, to be able to align with a stitch and cut it out precisely, right? And this part is for foiling. So when we put a little foil here, we put my logo right in the middle and pressed it, right? So this is for the stitchable card, and this jig is for steampunk style, which is done by just riveting the leather. Obviously a little faster to make with less stitching. I do burnish the edges as well, and I do the foiling. But so these are the two cards that I made, and this jig also lets you put the holes through, right, using this jig, right? Otherwise, it's the same idea. You put the holes, then you go cut it out by aligning this, right, and then you rivet it. So this is the other style, and this is the other leather. So you see how this one is a little more subdued with the foil, right? Because the stitch is subdued, this one is subdued, and this one is like in your face, like with brass rivets and gold, quote unquote gold foil, and this one with the silver color rivets. So this is the other project that we did yesterday, and yeah, this is the fun. Thank you all for joining. Just want to do another shout out to Karen for joining us and for sending all your fun folks shout out. There we go, Karen. Again, thank you for why do I need to wait 30 minutes before doing another shout out? Okay, I'll do my own shout out. There we go. I'll do this shout out. Thank you, Karen, for joining and bringing your team over. A few shout outs to my friends who were mentioned. Black Apple Creative, Squibble Design, people we raid often. So nice meeting you. Thank you for the follow. Hope to see your stream sometime again. Well, one time, and hope to see you here. Let's take a look at who we can raid today, because I want to keep the party going. Let's take a look at who is from my gang of leatherworkers and other folks is up. Oh yeah, we have Squibble. That's the person we will raid. So if you don't know Squibble Design, she is the artist out of New Zealand. She is amazing. She does chill painting. Looks like she's starting a new illustration, or maybe it's a quick one comparing to her big oil paintings, but hopefully you can join with me, and I hope to see you all again next time. And those of you who are on YouTube, all of this situation is for Twitch, so join my Twitch account as well, and I hope to see you again. So let's take a look, starting the raid. Yeah, here we go. So thank you all for joining. Let's say hi in Squibble's channel, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, folks.